sticking that thing up between my legs.
Hello?
And not even.
Can y'all hear me? If you turn your chairs around, we're gonna welcome everybody before the food gets here in just a minute. If you'll just kind of turn your chair around. Can everybody hear me? Is it sounds?
Yeah.
Kenneth, can you hear me? Everybody ready? We'd like to welcome each of you here tonight on behalf of the committee that puts this together, and I couldn't do without these girls because I don't do this. They are my legs and my shoulders, and I tell you every year, if they weren't willing to help, we wouldn't do it. Or if he remarries, I'm sure his new wife would. So welcome to each of you. Some of you were not here last night, and we're so happy you can be with us tonight. Hopefully we can get a full circle in the years to come, and we won't have some people who aren't with us, that, and I'm not referring to who we've lost, but I mean make our circle complete with those who are healthy and upright. So we do welcome you, and I'm going to have to read my notes because I'm getting old and a little forgetful. For those of you who ask why every year we continue to do this, I can only say there are two reasons. I think that speaks for itself. The reason that we do it 2 nights instead of 1, which some people have also suggested, is for that very reason, because we don't know what the coming year is going to bring. And we need you to be here. We want you to look to your left. Everybody, look to your left. Now look to your right. Sadly to say, somebody who you look to your left to see or who you look to your right to see might not be with us next year. And so that's why we continue to do it. It's not a hardship for us. The hard part is getting you to come and participate. So I've answered 2 of your questions why we do it. And one thing that we don't realize until we get this age in life, I think, or maybe a little older, is that each of you are a rare blessing to us. We had no clue when we were in the 1st grade, the 6th grade, the 10th grade, the 12th grade, that this was a gift God gave us for a lifetime. We only have to, by choice, choose to gather each year, to give you a hug, to let you know that we care, because it is a rare gift. The class of 64 is having a reunion tonight, and they only meet every 5 years. I know not how many class members they lost in the last 5 years, but I can guarantee you it was probably more than 2. So if you will continue to come, we will continue to do it, because each one of you is very precious to us. So many of you Facebook, text, email, call, just to say hi. What's going on in your life? My dear precious George Tullis calls me every time the weather blows badly in this direction. And hey, how are y'all? I see you got a tornado coming. And he says, I love you, bye. And that's it. But just to be connected, and that's what I charge you to do. I charge you you might not know this classmate that well or that classmate, but just because you were here tonight, continue during the year to pick that phone up or to email, text, whatever your mode of social media is, and just say, I'm thinking about you. I enjoyed being with you. How's it going in your life? And I can guarantee you, you're going to get more out of what you give. That will mean the world to that person, just as if that person called you. So with each passing year, we say, what if? What if I'm not here next year? Would anybody besides my family care? Would you be shocked to learn these people who are around you tonight care? These people pray for you in good times or bad. These people love you genuinely. So why do we continue to gather yearly? because this class is bigger than any one of us. Not just because of all the accomplishments that they achieved, because of the deep love and sense of belonging. I knew Margaret really well because we rode the school bus. And I have to say that we don't keep up like we should. But I charge you tonight to do better. And I want to say thank you, Jesus, for each one of you. And we will continue to do this as long as you will come. Because, as Kenneth will say, we're one or more gathered. And we will have the food here in about 10 minutes. I have these to pass around if somebody will take these and memorandum. We're not going to announce those this year, but we do know the two. I mean, 6 weeks after we had this reunion last year, he dropped dead of a heart attack. And who'd have thunk it?
I know.
Nobody. Because he was the life of everything.
He was.
And I also need you, per Judy's instructions, to be sure we have your correct text, email, Facebook, yada yada, phone number, all that. And we're going to do quickly a little thing till the food comes. We're going to try to find out who has been the most prolific in this class in the last 58 years. So if you have more than 18 grandchildren or
Children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren.
great-grandchildren or children, grandchildren, or great-grandchildren, if you have more than 18 in your family, would you raise your hand? Well, would you believe the winner of that is Virginia and Frank? So Judy has a gift for you.
You have 18 grandchildren?
I don't know the second one.
Most talented.
At this 58th reunion, who would you say was the most talented among us? Yesterday and today, and Rita put on quite a performance last night.
Excellent.
She gets the award for that. Who among us is the most photogenic? Who takes the most pictures, the most videos?
John.
Who puts us on? John. Okay, great. Who traveled the longest distance to be here yesterday and today? Who had 12 hours away? 10 hours away.
Virginia. Well, she doesn't live anywhere, that doesn't count.
So can anybody beat 10 hours? Did anybody drive?
Mackey's got it.
We drove.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's a little over 700 miles to
How many hours did it take you?
pretty close to 12.
Okay. Virginia, are you 10 or 12?
And she would probably be a bit
Virginia,
more.
pay attention. Pay attention. Are you 10 or 12 hours in coming?
I was gonna say.
Uh-oh, we got to cut it down the middle.
Because we're probably about in that too. We're probably about equal distance.
Uh-oh, well, you got to give one and one the other. Well, we can't do it. They both had 10 and a half hours.
Give it to Virginia.
Yeah.
Give it
Yeah.
to Virginia.
All right, Virginia.
All right, we got about 5 minutes. Did I do all my stuff, Judy? And again, let me say, I can't thank Dot and Virginia enough. Margaret and Rita helped me this year, but Dot and Virginia are who you need to thank, not me. Because they do the grunt work. They get up, put the tables up, tablecloths on, they stress with them because they blow off. And they work really hard every year, they really do. So let's clap for Virginia and Dot and Margaret and Rita this year. And let's give Judy and John a big thank you too, because Judy works tirelessly all year long, not just for the reunion, but all year long. And we're very appreciative of all you do. Thank you so much. I don't know if you look to see the board that she made for the last, I don't know how many years. John, how many years was that? That to the 10th.
Yes.
10th reunion out at the old gun club. Gee, how we have changed. We've got to get up there and fix that sign, but those of you who didn't sign, the sign, we ran out of room on the old one. And so Buddy made us, we need to thank Buddy for the signs and Albert for the drinks. And so if you will sign it tonight. Is there anybody else? Somebody else need to talk?
Charles and Frank.
Charles and Frank parked tonight. Cars parked last night. They took over for Carol, who's going to be back next year and can help Charlie. I think Charlie enjoys that job. He may have taken it from me. But Mickey was so gracious to help you all those years, and he loved it. I got a funny story to tell y'all about Mickey.
Everybody's telling me something.
First year we did it out here, I don't know when it was, because we've done it, what, 10 or 11 years, Judy?
11.
11?
To the copper people. And
Mickey came up to me and he said, Barry says y'all love doves. And I said, oh, we love doves. I said, my son and Barry used to shoot doves, but I said, Bart can't see anymore, and Bart doesn't hunt anymore. I got doves. He said, I'll bring you doves. And I said, that would be awesome. He said, but I'll swap them for a rack of ribs. And I said, okay, that works for me. I said, when you gonna bring them? He said, well, I'll just bring them by, but I'll get my ribs, right? And I said, sure, you can have the ribs. So 2 weeks later, my family was excited, my grandchildren, I was going to smother the doves and make some cat head biscuits. I got those doves out to thaw, and they were as white as Dot's jeans. I don't know if any of you know what that means, but they were freezer burned. I soaked them in milk, I did everything. I put them in vinegar, I had to toss them. So the next time I saw him, I said, you really buked me on those doves. What was wrong with them? I said, they were freezer burnt. He said, oh heck, I got them out of the wrong freezer. I'll bring you some more next year. He said, you gonna give me a rack of ribs? I said, yes, I'll give you a rack of ribs, but I don't want any more freezer burnt doves. So he came that night and he came up, and I was back here somewhere, and he said, doves are in your freezer, and they're good ones too. Brought you two cartons. And I said, okay, great. Same thing. Third year, he says, most swappy. I said, no, the deal's off. Deal's off. So he came to that reunion, and he said, I really got some good ones out of a good freezer this time, and they were good. Took 3 times to get them, but they were good. So, Mickey, we miss you. All right, anybody have anything they need to say? How about Coach Muse? Take that off, Coach Muse. We're so happy to have you here.
Hey, thank you.
You want to give that to him, John?
Absolutely.
Well, it is great to be with each one of you.
All right, let's swap one.
And my mind just goes back and full of memories about all the good times that we had with this particular class. We were over here talking about the question was, did I think that this group of boys that won the first statewide basketball championship could do it? And I told him the story about when Mr. Johnson came and said to me, he'd like for me to be the high school principal. And I told him, I said, well, I've coached these boys since they were real young in junior high school and so on. And I really feel like they've got a possibility of winning the state championship, and I want them to stay with them. So he came back the next day, and he had a deal. At that time, I was junior high school football coach. I was coaching boys and girls track, boys and girls basketball, and teaching 5 science classes. And I was making real good money, about $2,700 a year. And that's one of the reasons the enticement was there for the principalship. And he said, I'll take all of that and leave you coaching just the boys basketball. So I took him up on it, and it worked out for us, and we did bring home a state championship. One of the things about this group of students here, it absolutely was one of the best high school classes in the United States. How do I know that? Back then, we used to take a test called the Iowa Test of Basic Educational Development. It was a national norm test. And this class, get ready now, scored in the 97th percentile.
I'm glad I didn't show up that day.
But I'd go to these principals meetings and I'd tell them about it. They wouldn't believe me, you know, the school in Mississippi could do that. But that speaks for the quality, overall quality of this class. And it was a joy for me to be the principal for this group and to coach the boys basketball and to see all the achievement, not only in sports, but in all aspects of the students' high school life. The athletic program, which I was closely involved in, the football program, was one of the best in the country. It had been for years and years and years. And I will well remember one time we had a 28-game winning streak and we lost one football game. I went uptown to People's Cafe the next morning. They said, we got to do something about our coaches. I said, do you realize this is the first time we've lost a football game? And I think we won 32 straight after that. But people just expect excellence in this school system here. And I enjoyed my role that I played very much. And I didn't know, Jackie called me to put this date on my calendar a long time ago, and I said, yes, I'll do it if I can. And then I got this other invitation for a reunion. I said, well, that's the one I'm going to. Well, I didn't realize until earlier I had Thomas to call Jack and say, tell me about now where the reunion is going to be. Find out of all things 2 class reunions on the same day.
Same day.
Right in Starkville. So it wasn't any question still, I knew which one I was coming to.
We thank you.
And I thank y'all very much for inviting me. It has been wonderful getting to see each one of you.
We love
Very
you,
good.
Coach. You bet.
Yeah, we love you. We're just waiting on the food if y'all want to continue to visit.
Okay.
Wait, may I say something? Gene, would you come here, please? Yeah. Rita, would you come here, man?
Rita. Come on, you're the most talented. Go.
No, I'm coming over there, that's fine. I want y'all to know something. Gene, come here. Gene and Gary, bless their heart, when we travel, they come out here and feed our cat. And Gary loves to fish. And Jean is a great fishing lady herself. So several years ago, Jean goes down that pier and she catches over 30 some odd nice brim. Excited. Until Martin and Dot ride to Harrisburg Wednesday.
Is this one on?
Yes.
Rita and this one. Tell him
Virginia,
yes.
Martin. Virginia and Martin rode to Harrisburg Wednesday to pick up Rita. Well, Rita arrives about 4 o'clock. I normally about 5 o'clock had a beer, and Virginia
Speak up louder, baby.
had a beer, and
I didn't have a beer.
Virginia had a beer. And Rita's sitting over there very bored like. I said, Rita, I went to Walmart today and I bought 100 crickets. Would you like to go fishing? Virginia said, oh, I love to fish. Rita said, oh, I love to fish. So the three of us went on the little pier down there fishing. So in about 30 minutes, Virginia reminded me of a daughter Marion that I tried to teach racquetball to. Virginia says, about 30 minutes later, I'm tired of this. I'm ready to go to the house. Rita catches on fishing, and she keeps on fishing.
By herself.
From 6:30 to 8:30, we fished. Jean, she caught 92 brim.
She did.
Wednesday afternoon, we brought them right here. I dumped them out of the cooler. I counted every fish. 92 brim.
Virginia calls on.
That's 92%.
So he's saying you did catch them when you used to come water for us. You did.
Well, you used to catch
31
them,
days.
you caught
You were
30
so
tonight.
excited.
You were real happy over 30 fish.
But Rita beat you is what he's trying to say.
It might be. But Rita caught 92 fish
And the next day she caught over
in an
30.
hour and a half. The next day I go to Walmart to get crickets. They do not have crickets. So I got another thing of worms. Rita goes by herself down there and catches another 35 brim. So Rita,
And she can take them off and
Rita can take
thread
them
them.
off.
Virginia
She
had
can
to
bait
be
a
held.
hook. And Virginia can't do anything like this. But Jean can do that. Jean can do it. Well, Rita, you are now the brim queen. I was going to get her a plaque of a brim nailed on there, but I was scared it might be stinging by the time she got home.
Or it might be abuse to the fish, somebody would think.
So you're now the queen. I'm sorry, Jean.
I've never been a queen of anything. Don't get.
Very good. Who dressed all those brim?
My employees at the little bit.
They fight over them.
I do.
Okay.